You mentioned 21 CFR Part 11 in an answer to the previous question. Can you give me a little more detail on how electronic signatures can be used within an eTMF and how having signatures can assist with other eTMF features?
Sure, absolutely. 21 CFR Part 11 compliance system obviously has a lot of security features built into it, but it goes a little beyond that in giving you the ability to run these electronic signatures. Now, it should be noted that the system that you're going to use, like Adams, for example, Database Integrations has submitted to the FDA a statement to inform them that we are going to be using electronic signatures in our system. This is in addition to, not in lieu of, the sponsor submitting that same documentation to let the agency know that they plan on using electronic signatures in their study. So that will cover the bases, all bases, when it comes to the ability to use these. But you can imagine if you've got documentation inside of an eTMF and you're going to do some sort of a review process, and let's say you're reviewing a protocol amendment, the ability to have somebody come in and review that document electronically and then sign off on that document electronically is huge in terms of time saving and effort in trying to keep track of who signed it and when they signed it and that sort of thing. With Adams, we have a reviewer process so that you can go in and actually set up who's supposed to review these documents and what order they need to review them in. And then the system, Adams, will actually send out emails to all of the users at the time when they need to come in and review the document. They can then go review the document, add their comments to it if they need to, upload another version, give it an approval status, maybe approved as is or approved with changes, and sign off on it. So, and then of course from that you go to a simple report that will tell you who's done it and when it's done it, you know, what time it was done. You can also print all that off and stick it into your reg binder if you need, you know, anytime that you need that information that's at a moment's notice, you can have it. So the reporting abilities from the electronic signatures are very, very useful as well. You know, and with all these papers that you get, and all this documentation that you get during the course of a study, I mean, it's thousands and thousands and thousands of pages. And, you know, if you think about it, it comes down to a slogan that we like to use here at Database Integrations, which is initiative, if you will. It's going green to save green. And by using these electronic TMFs, you get the ability to not have to print all of these, you know, pieces of paper. You can imagine when you're trying to do signatures, you know, you've got to print it and you sign it and you scan it back and then I've got to print it and I've got to sign it. It's not just the thousands of pages initially, but it's the repeat initial, you know, printing of these papers. And what do? Nothing. They don't do anything. They sit inside of some folder somewhere, paper-based folder somewhere, and do nothing because the final one was the one that's actually going to get put into the TMF, not the one that you printed out at your office. So it may even just go into a shredder. You know, so it's not just that you don't have to print off the paper, because you'll save money in not having to print off the paper, but also saving green, and by that I mean, of course, dollars. Saving green is also in people's time and the effort that they have to go through, and them, you know, basically getting back, you know, parts of their lives because they don't have to follow up with this process. They don't have to go through and print and sign and do all these things. They can just go in and electronically sign these things. It makes it much, much easier for them. Very, very efficient for everybody.